Hi, here I'm going to be demonstrating how you can use VBA to perform ELT functions to blend two reports into one data set. The scenario is that Grand Ice Cream has bought out their competitor 5 flavored ice creams. They only sell 5 flavors. I don't know what's up with that. And as you can see, as you can tell, management will want sales on both of these banners in one report, and there's some challenges. We have different number of columns. They are in different orders. The state up here is an abbreviation. The state down here is spelled out in 5 flavors. This Grand Creamery up here doesn't have the city listed up there, and they both use slightly different names for their flavors of ice cream. You have chocolate spelled out there, chocolate abbreviated here, chocolate as chocolate chip all spelled out here up there and with a space, and chocolate no space, but an abbreviation for chocolate. The same would happen to strawberry if we check the flavors down here as well. And then there is a big difference also here is we have a count and a price for each transaction, and over here we have the total sales for the transaction. And what we're going to want to do is blend these together so we can get a sales report for both banners, both chains of stores in one report. So let's do that. And over here, we're going to get that information into this data set right up here. And we're going to have an import date and time over here in case there's trouble with data feed. I'll be talking about that a little bit later. There's going to be a lookup for a city, and then there's going to be a lookup to get the category here. Up here in ice cream setup, there is a place where we can add different flavors of ice cream. 5 flavors can't add another one, so we'd put that in here and get another thing. If they have another banner or they decide another category, we could put that information up in there as well. So it's expandable with these types of changes. Let's say a new flavor of ice cream. And then we have store setup so we can get the city names, and we also have a lookup table to get the abbreviations over here. And because it's a Grand Ice Cream that bought out 5 flavors, we're going to be using state abbreviations like this. Let's go to the control panel. This is where you can place in different directory names. If you change the directory in which your files are stored, it will look at these in the file picker, which you'll see in a moment. Will immediately open up to those two directories, one for Grand Ice Cream and one for 5 flavors, so you don't accidentally pick the same one twice. And saves you a little bit of time too. And over here, these dates are picked up by the import file, and it looks and it'll give you the min and max date in each import file. So 52 weeks and over and 2 files being picked. If you have 99% accuracy, this is going to save you on that once a year. And I'll just leave this information as it is right there so that you can see that it will change and these will change through the import. Also write each unique date up here, and what this is going to be down here is the count to transaction for each store and under each date with point of sales data, figuring 52 years. And how many stores do we have here? We have 41 stores. It's a good chance that something might happen to the data feed at least a couple of times a year on that. So that you'll see how that will work in a second. So let's start with the import right now. It will first tell you that you need to have downloaded the two different files and put it on a network drive or local drive. This, from MicroStrategy or wherever you're getting the reports from, and it brings you to the directory where the Grand ice cream sales are. Normally there'd be a bunch of files in here, and in this case there is just the one because I just made one set of pseudodata. So we'll pick that and or import that in like that, and then again we'll click and we'll get the data imported. I like to do double checks on data. We can look here and make sure that the data is from July 1st to July 7th on both of them, and it's showing that here. It added July 1st to July 7th right over here, and we can look down through here and see if there's a 0 in any of the data feeds, and or look if one is way off. So that's a bit of a double check on the data feeds. Most often, somebody unplugged something that they shouldn't, or something technical may have happened to one of the stores. So that goes, and the most important part over here is we now have all of the items listed in the same manner with the same name. If they both have the same type of ice cream, we've added a category, and we've added city onto the Grand Creamery, and then we do now have the total sales for all of the records down here. And so just item and price, and so now we can go in a control panel. Now this is not, the dashboard, and this is not how I'd usually make a dashboard. This would be like a sampler if I'm not replacing a current process, or I might just be told, make it any way that you want. So over here we have totals by state, and over here we have a stacked counter chart so that you can see how much in each city we have from each banner when they're both located in the same city. We have the items by category here in a pictogram. Normally I don't care for pictograms, but in this case I kind of like it, and it will show for each category, in this case chocolate, how much is just plain chocolate, how much is chocolate chip, and how much is chocolate fudge. For some reason chocolate fudge is a little bit lower than I would expect, and then you could change the category and see which ones they are, or you could make a pie chart that does the exact same thing. Over here we have the sum of sales for each of the different items that's sold in a clustered bar chart, and occasionally people just want to report, and we can also do that. This is if you're handing it off to a bunch of different data analysts, they can easily change them. For instance, we have sales in the top 5 cities of sales, the bottom 5 cities of sales, and the top 10 sales associates. If you're handing it off, you can also, let me get this back, do things like add banner in to the price. You could, once you get the data in a proper data set, you can do so much so quickly. So that's what we have. It all starts with the transformation of the data into a data set right up there. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.